Welcome to Subramani. When I was wondering, I've read this book, which is The Divine Speaks, which is by Sankracharacharya. I had no clue that I could make videos out of it, and I suddenly one day decided that I will make videos, however crude. No patch on what some of the other brilliant people are already doing, but I said maybe it reaches a different set of people, so let me start doing it. So I'm going to today talk about the importance of Ambal. Ambal is again another word for the same goddess. You call her Durga, Saraswati, Lakshmi, but Ambal is what the importance of Ambal is what Sankracharacharya is talking about in this book, which is page number 627. For those who have this book or will buy this book, I don't think a PDF is available. You will have to buy. There are 7 volumes. This is, I am talking about volume number 1. You can see this, right? So Sankracharya starts by saying it's not enough if we keep our houses, our clothing and our bodies clean. What is important is to keep our mind clean and pure without any flaws. This is extremely difficult. See, we can see our body, we wear clothes, we wear shoes, we wear socks, we do all kinds of things, and we go out. We make sure that we don't step on wrong things and get our feet dirty, but still when you come home and you definitely have a bath, right? You have a bath every day, and one on some special occasions, maybe twice a month, you have a oil bath which is supposed to remove all the dirt from your body. Sharir of ours which we can see and which we can manage, we have a lot of we have to do all this cleansing. So what about our mind, which goes through much worse things? We have bad thoughts, we have good thoughts, we have all kinds of thoughts, and then you have to control those thoughts, which is very difficult. So Sankracharya says the best way to do it is to pray at the feet of Ambal, that is the goddess, and he says the only way to keep our minds clean and pure is to meditate at the lotus feet of Ambal, the consort of Lord Parameshwara. That is right. So, and if we constantly meditate on her feet, all our impurities will be cleansed. This is the belief, and I believe that too, that whenever you get bad thoughts, just sit down and pray. I have a friend who sends out a message to people where saying, oh, I had these bad thoughts about you. He's a Jain, and he does that every day, and he's on the path to becoming a rishi, right? So that's how he behaves, and so all our deficiencies will turn out to be strengths if we will become full within ourselves. It is the game plan of Ambal to create all of us as human beings with deficiencies and flaws. The onus lies on us. The onus thus lies on her to cleanse and liberate us, right? So we are putting that work also on God and saying, look, I have done this, now please cleanse us. So we do not want to live and die like animals. We are human beings. We are filled with peace. We want to be filled with peace and happiness, right? All of us at some stage want peace and happiness, and peace and happiness is something which we can get only when we try. It is not going to come to you automatically. So at least sitting, praying, meditating is going to help. So hence we don't want to be in the clutches of every religion somehow promises you moksha. So I will stick to Hinduism. That's the only thing where I think I know a little bit. The other religions I don't know much, so I will not talk about them. All religions of the world have emerged with the sole objective of relieving people from the cycle of birth and death. Here I am quoting Sankracharya. And for accomplishing this goal, there is no need for doing anything in any other than meditating on Ambal. This is just meditating on her that gives us peace and happiness and provides us inner fulfillment. Inner fulfillment or santushti or contentment is something which all of us look for, and we also keep saying that santushti hi sampatti hai, right? It is the santushti which is wealth, because if you don't have santushti, any amount of wealth is not going to give you any happiness, right? You have a lot of money, but if you don't have the health to manage it, if you don't have the ability to use it, then all that is not going to give you happiness. So happiness has to come from within you, and that Sankracharya says comes from praying at the feet of Ambal. If we constantly meditate on Ambal, filling ourselves with her thoughts, our religion will also automatically flourish on its own. Then there will be no need for us to do any great propaganda, debate, etc., etc. Why am I then he says, instead of delivering a course to you, why am I speaking all these things? Because he says this speaking about her cleanses me. So speaking about Ambal cleanses Sankracharya, so I am sure making this video is also going to cleanse me, right? So even sitting and thinking and talking about Ambal is going to be helpful. It is a step in the meditation process. So I start realizing this only when I delivering the discourses. What he is saying, that our religion is meant for attaining fulfillment and enlightenment by adhering to our duties as ordained by the Shastras. Only when with benevolence and grace of Ambal will we get the energy and intellect to reach the stage of enlightenment and fulfillment. We must realize there are flaws in us which we are not, because of which we are not able to single-mindedly focus on any god, right? So which is something which all of us realize. When you do meditation, the mind keeps wandering. So in a way, it is we are praying to God to even remove these flaws, and whenever I feel there are some flaws within me, I immediately pray to Ambal to save me from those flaws. This is what whenever I'm saying I, in this case it means Sankracharya. So he says, if I deliver discourses despite flaws in me, then whatever I preach will be hypocrisy and amounting to duping you all. Partially agree that I don't know everything, and if I wait to know everything before I start this discourse, maybe I'd be dead. So for me, this is a good step in the directions of talking about whatever Sankracharya says in his book. He's got 7 books, so I've just made a start. So he says, once I am blessed with the grace of Ambal and become fully realized, then there will be no need for me to preach at all. All of you would be fully blessed by Ambal. Without me talking to you, the power bestowed by Ambal will confer wisdom on you. Right? So therefore both ways discourses are superficial and not really required. If I spend my time meditating on her instead of creating these videos, I guess that's what he means, I'll get greater magnitude of inner peace, but all my flaws will also get eradicated. But if I keep talking with you, and only with the wish that at least some of you impact and there is some change. In my case, no, I'm not hoping to create some great impact or change. I'm just wanting to spread the value of this book in the form of videos. So temporary solace is also essential in a world where there is absolute, especially in this world where there is absolute lack of peace. This sounds more true with the recent attacks on Israel and all the disturbances which are happening. And the more important issue is, in the case to make this temporary solace into a permanent one, the only way to do is it, again he says the same thing, just pray at the feet of Ambal's lotus feet. And then now I'm quoting him, Ambal is very important to me. I constantly meditate on Ambal for global well-being and prosperity. You should all meditate on Ambal. Remember, this book is written long ago, and he is talking about global well-being and prosperity. That is exactly what all of us can do. This Navaratri, we can all pray for global prosperity, global well-being, there being less number of innocent people killed on both sides of Gaza, of Israel, of every other country in the world, right? The biggest sufferers of all this war is the women and children, right? There will be no damage or harm to our religion because of any other religion or atheism if we start praying and holding ourselves strong. It may happen only in case we do not adhere to our own karmas. When we don't perform our karmas, all these things happen. So praying for global well-being, which I have been doing for the last few years. So whenever I go to any temple, I pray for global well-being because that globe includes me, and so when there is global well-being, it will include my well-being also. Also, I think asking God for something is restricting him. Best is to tell him, please give me what is good for me, because let him find out what is good for me, right? So it is just enough if one constantly meditates on Ambal's lotus feet. There will not be a single problem. Doing this in our own, so whether to do this, it's in our own hands, and we do not need to do any great deeds. All we do is to try not to indulge in evil acts, and I think all of us can do that. All of us can pray for world world peace. Whenever we commit a mistake, we should cleanse ourselves by meditating on her and reach the stage of self-realization. This is not going to be very easy, but it's not a bad time to be making this chart. This Navratri, let's try to do that. According to all religions, the ultimate goal is to attain moksha. Moksha is the realization of the absolute truth, and with the help of self-awareness. That absolute truth is what is called Brahman. Please don't confuse this for Brahmin, right? So say this, and also that we concentrate on the Brahman, which is the, according to our Vedas. So Chitta Shakti, which is the ability of the brain, is only Ambal. So the Chitta Shakti is the Ambal. So therefore you have to pray at her feet, and she confers on us all comforts in this worldly life, also offers us ultimate wisdom, which is moksha. Only with her grace can we liberate ourselves from this worldly bonding and attain moksha. Wisdom dawns when praying to Ambal, ignorance vanishes when praying to Ambal, and moksha is attained when praying to Ambal. And it says our Shastras and Slokas. See, Jagadguru Sankracharya does not ever say I said it. He always quotes the Shastras and Slokas rather than saying I said it, right? So now all we have to do is start meditating on Ambal's lotus feet. Once we commence meditation, we ourselves will start getting her grace. We will realize that there is nothing other than Ambal's lotus feet, and before trying to redeem others, we should ourselves keep away from sins. This is very difficult, but that's and when I say sins, I mean sins of the mind also, right? It's not just you go and commit. Even when you have bad thoughts towards anybody, any enemy or anybody, that's also you are committing some kind of a sin. So he says, here I am again quoting Sankracharya, says, all of you should go and pray to her for your own good, as well as the well-being of the entire world. The entire universe will live in peace and prosperity. Sarva lokan sukhino bhavantu, right? This is what so whenever we go to any temple, we have to pray for Sarva lokan sukhino bhavantu, whether you're praying for Palestine, you're praying for Israel, or you're praying for Pakistan, India, it should not matter. Go and pray for world well-being. Maybe there are less murders, maybe there are less bombings and things like that. Thank you.